proportion of women aged 15 to 30 suffer from anorexia? The answer is 1 in 100.
So you're watching Thursday's Right Stuff with Scott Mills and Diamond and our special guest Simon Weston. In a little while, Simon and the rest of today's headlines. But first, has Kate Moss been a silly Billy and bigged up anorexia by claiming nothing tastes as good as skinny feels? You can email your thoughts on this. rightstuff@5.tv is the address. Now, Kate gave the quote in an interview with a fashion website, but she did qualify it by adding, "You try and remember, but it never works." The Sun, though, was outraged. Kate Moss is brainless, the paper fumes, because nothing tastes as good as skinny feels has been adopted as a motto by pro-anorexia websites like starvingforcontrol.com. That's one we found. True, but the phrase was also frequently bandied about by a well-known diet firm in the 1980s. Indeed, the slogan is still on one of the group's Facebook pages this morning. The Sun picks on Kate but says nothing at all about that, but then 4 years ago the paper was in a sponsorship deal with this diet firm. It's the one that rhymes with fate dodgers. Fate dodgers?
Yeah, we get it. Yeah.
Kate is of course idolised by millions of women, but she's known more for her looks than her brain. I think that's a fair comment. And if it wasn't for the Sun, I suspect most of us would never have known she'd come out with this nonsense in the first place. It might not have been the smartest thing the Croydon Clothes Horse has to say, but aren't the real villains of this piece the pro-eating disorder websites, Anne? I mean, I can't believe there are pro-eating disorder websites.
And they're incredibly popular. I mean, it's one of the hugest problems we've got to come to terms with. We have a generation of little girls who think nothing other than being skinny. That's all they want to be, is skinny. Skinny first and then famous. Preferably the two, and then have enhanced boobs. I mean, how crazy is it? But anyway, I mean, you're right. It's an incredibly well-known phrase to anyone who's ever dieted, anyone who's ever tried to lose weight.
You've heard it before?
As you reach for the chocolate biscuit, you're meant to say to yourself, nothing tastes as good as slim feels. I don't think it was ever skinny, but slim feels.
That was the fate.
But you know, that is a phrase that is in there with people who have a weight problem, an overweight problem. But it has become now abused. It's used by the wrong people. The only thing I would say where fault does lie, I think, with Kate Moss a bit, is that she is aware of this. I didn't actually know that phrase was being used by pro-anorexia websites. She is aware of that, and she is aware.
Would she have been aware of that?
I think so. She's very. I mean, she knows who her fans are. And they're these kids. And if she doesn't know, she should know, because it is her responsibility.
Right.
She is an absolute icon to girls who want to be skinny and famous.
Is the paper right to get all fussed up about it?
No, I think they're honestly, I think they are.
Do you think it's been taken out of context a little bit? Because obviously you know the phrase already, and she obviously said it in innocence.
Yes, I mean, and given she comes from the world of modelling, she would have to say that to herself all the time. She's probably lived that phrase for years and years and years. But she is slightly different in that she is an icon.
A role model.
She really is a role model, and I don't think she understands. In her behaviour, she doesn't really understand the responsibility she owes to many of our young girls.
Okay, what do you think, Simon?
It's a phrase that's lost on me to start with.